America's fastest growing game sensation. So this is going to be a bust. It is What If. That's right. We're going to play an exciting episode of What If here on Wretched Radio. The game where we create a scenario for some, they would consider it to be fantastic, and then we ask them, what if it's true? Tony, who's our first contestant today on What If?
Todd, our first and last guest, has been hailed as one of the most brilliant journalists of our time, according to the London Observer. He's a contributing editor, ironically, for Vanity Fair. He was named one of the top 100 public intellectuals by Foreign Policy and Britain's Prospect. He studied in Cambridge and Oxford, and now he just hates God. He's the author of God is Not Great. He is Christopher Hitchens.
Wow, fancy that. Christopher, thanks very much for being with us, sir.
Hello.
Christopher, we're going to have you play a game show today called What If. Are you game?
Sounds all right.
All right, here's what we've got for you, sir. We are going to play a game. I'm going to create some fantastic scenarios, and then you tell me, sir, what your response would be if these things happen to be true. Ready to go?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Here's the first one. Now, I realize for you, sir, the author of God is Not Good, that you don't believe in God, but what if...
God is not great, excuse me.
God is not great. What?
Now in paperback at fine bookstores everywhere.
Mm-hmm. So what if God actually exists, sir? And what if he actually has provided everything for you? He's granted you life. He has given you health. He has given you food. He's given you the trees to write your screed against him. He's provided you royalties. It all came from him. What if that is true, sir? Would he not have been good to you?
No. He wouldn't, because if that were true, it would mean that I had an eternal supervising parent who would never die and let me get on with my life, never let me grow up, would keep me under surveillance.
But you have, sir.
And supervision every minute of my life.
But you
constantly asked me to be thanking and praising him.
Yeah.
I think it would
that
be
wasn't part of the
it would be
scenario.
like living in North Korea. I think it would be a horrible outcome.
Well, not sure that God is Kim Jong-il, but what if what I said is true?
Well, ask Kim Jong-il. He has a different opinion.
Uh-huh. So if that is the God who's made you and created you, he's allowed you to live your life, shouldn't that be a sign of kindness to you?
No.
Oh.
I don't want anyone's permission to live my life, thanks.
All righty. Well, it's not that you've been asked or that you asked him.
I think it's servile, and one is expected to constantly grovel as a result.
All right, Christopher Hitchens, round two of What If. What if God exists? He's provided everything for you. He's kept you together by the power of his word. If that is truly God, do you believe that God, if he's provided everything for you, has rights on your life?
No.
Because?
Why should he? What gives him this right?
Because he owns you. He's created everything for you. He's kept you alive.
I don't want to be owned. I don't want to be owned, and I don't recognize anyone's right to own me.
Remember, we're playing a game of What If.
I wrote my book exactly to teach people to emancipate themselves from the man-made slavery of religion, and you're giving the perfect instance of what I mean. I don't acknowledge anyone's ownership of myself.
I know you don't acknowledge it, but what if he is God?
Suppose that I grant your premise about him having made me and even treated me well, still doesn't give anyone ownership rights. Even if I have these for my children.
Okay, so even though he keeps you alive, he causes you to breathe, he provides you food and everything that is good, he doesn't have any rights to tell you what to do. Nothing.
Does that mean that people who are sick and poor and hungry are excuse this obligation of thanking someone brokenly for owning them?
Well, that isn't a part of the game show. I'm just asking you. Let's play another round here.
No, I'm sorry. I think a question may take the form of an answer.
All right. So here's question number 3 of our little game show called What If, with our special guest Christopher Hitchens, the author of God is Not Great, How Religion Poisons Everything, which is I hope, hyperbole. But even so.
No, it isn't. Not if it postulates that I'm someone who's owned by someone else.
All right. So
that would ruin everything for me if it were true.
Okay. So ownership is a bad thing?
Of people, yes.
Oh, okay.
It's been widely considered. I mean, I know the Bible does call for slavery as it calls for genocide, but that doesn't make it right.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't. But we're playing What If.
It might be you. I don't know. You may take the Bible seriously for all I know.
Oh, I sure do. What if there's a judgment day, sir? Just what if? What if? I know a crazy scenario for you, but a day when God causes you to give an account for every thought, every word, every deed. How do you think you'd do on that day, sir?
Well, I would ask by what right.
That's not the question. How would you do?
If someone stops me and says, I've got a few questions for you. I say, excuse me, I'm in a hurry. Who are you to be posing these questions?
Well, what if he's God and he made you and he has the right? What if?
The question,
how would you do?
The most ancient question is still quo warranto, by what right?
Mm-hmm.
This right can't just be assumed.
All right. If it's true, remember, we're just playing a little fantasy game here.
Yes, I understand. I'm telling you what my reaction would be.
All right. So how would you, if for instance, if he ran you through the 10 Commandments, his standard of goodness and perfection, how do you think you'd measure up, sir?
Well, on the initial burst, which are all about his jealousy and his envy and his self-esteem and how one has to respect that, nix on those. I don't care for those. I don't obey them and never have tried to. Don't think anyone should. Don't think anyone needs to. Same for the Sabbath. Same for the Sabbath.
You haven't done well with that.
Same for the Sabbath. I don't give a damn about the Sabbath.
Yeah.
Murder, theft, and perjury. I know. Thanks a lot. I know without being told that those are not kosher.
Mm-hmm.
Honor the father and the mother. It rather depends how they behave towards me. And there's no commandment about taking care of your children. There's no prohibition of child abuse any more than there's any prohibition of slavery or genocide in the Ten Commandments. So I don't care about those either particularly.
Have you made any graven images?
Coveting, I think, is a good thing because it leads to emulation and innovation. It's a spur to do better if you're jealous or envious of other people's property. However,
so you've pretty much kept the Ten Commandments.
I don't approve. Of course, it's wrong to take that property. It's not wrong to wish you had it yourself. And I don't, of course, approve of lumping in women with oxen and asses.
All right. So specifically, sir, have you ever taken God's name in vain?
I've never completely known. This is only in the King James translation, which is the one I know best. Quite what that means.
That you've used God's name in a low way. Instead of using a 4-letter filth word, you use the name of God to express disgust.
No, not in that way. No, I don't believe I have.
Really? GD, nothing like that has ever flown out of your mouth?
Not as a filth expression.
No, as a
or not
coarse
instead
expression,
of a filth expression.
dragging